Sup, Nerdmigos? I'm the Jive talking nerd, John Norgrove. We've got Wife here. We're in a car driving, as you can tell. This isn't a green screen, or is it? Don't trust me. And so we're here for another review, Jive. This time we're here for... What the hell did we watch last night?
Twister.
We watched
Terrible
Twister.
Movie Tuesdays.
It's Terrible Movie Tuesdays. We watched Twister. We're recording this on Wednesday. We didn't record it last night because we started Twister late, and we finished it, and I just didn't want to do anything, so we didn't. So we decided, and obviously we had a ton of shopping to do today, and it's now like 2 o'clock, and these come out at 5 o'clock, and I was just like, I guess we're going to do this in the car on the drive home, as opposed to on the drive out, which would have probably been the smarter way to do it, because I'm all tired and shit. But that's fine, whatever. Anywho, let's talk Twister. So, we watched Twister for Terrible Movie Tuesday. It's available on Netflix for streaming, and I fucking love Twister. I forgot how much I love Twister. Twister is, in hindsight, like the most all-star of casts.
Well, that's that like 90s thing.
That's that 90s thing,
all
right?
All the 90s movies tried to get as many
famous people
as possible.
Well, and there are famous people in it, right? I mean, like, obviously the main chick and the main guy are super fucking famous, right?
They were famous at the time.
They were famous at the time. Yeah. But, like, all the background characters were, like, kind of fresh and young and new at the time.
But not all of them.
Not all of them.
Carrie Elves was in there.
Yeah, that's true.
The
That's true.
Who was the love interest? Well, the other love interest.
The other love interest.
The other.
Oh my god, dude! We looked into her fucking videography. She has been in so many things.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy town.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, so, I mean, it really does have an all-star cast.
Also, Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off was in it, and he was pretty famous at the time.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those 90s blockbuster movies. And at first, we were talking about it at first, and I was like, I don't think this is a terrible movie. Like, P.S., guys, I don't think most of these movies that we watch are terrible movies.
They
are
aren't
actually terrible movies.
But they're generally recognized as bad movies.
You know, I was telling him, like, I've never really been a big Twister person. Like, it's an okay movie, it's pretty good, but if there's something else that's better on, I'm going to watch that instead, because Twitter is just like a less good disaster. Or Twister is just like a less good disaster movie.
Twitter is a disaster movie.
Twitter is in fact a disaster movie. But Twister is like a less good disaster movie, and I love disaster movies.
Yeah.
Oh boy, do I love disaster movies.
But, and this is my argument on this. I have never considered Twister a disaster movie. In my mind, Twister is actually a monster movie. And bear with me on this one, all right? So you have a thing that is both actively hunting them, all right, that they can run from, but that runs towards them, that changes directions, that almost seems to have a degree of consciousness, even though, I mean, like, this isn't Hurricane Heist where there's demons in the wind. Although there were a couple of times where I was just like, actually, that's a lie. There were a lot of times where I was like, does this happen in Twister? Or does this happen in Hurricane Heist? Because we recently watched both movies, right? Like, within the last 2 months, we watched both of these fucking movies. So I'm like, I don't know which one this one is, you know, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But this movie really is, if you kind of think about it, just like Midwest Godzilla. So in Japan, they have radioactive lizards, and in the Midwest, they have tornadoes.
And going
just
into
as
this
equal chance it's gonna kick your fucking house over.
After we had talked about this, I was like, okay, like, not that I don't believe you, but like I'll
let's
watch
go into
this
it and think about it that way.
Let's go into it and think about it. And that's really true. It is a little like if you were to sub out the tornado with like a giant kaiju.
Yeah.
That would basically be
you wouldn't even have to change the fucking
movie.
Sounds in the movie, because if you listen, right,
also the tornadoes have very weird animalistic sounds.
Well, they like almost seem to roar, and there's so many scenes in the movie where they're just like, where it's like and it's like roaring through, and then they're like, wait a minute, and then it like breaks up, and they're like, it's gone.
Yeah.
Wait, what's that? It's gonna come over the hill. It's coming for us. And then it's like, knocking the car around or whatever.
If you took this movie and dropped it into like Pacific Rim world, and
this is just like the wind kaiju.
That would totally make sense.
Yeah, totally, right? And so I don't know. I probably heard this like years ago or something from somebody, but like I have just always really thought of Twister as a monster movie. Right?
And I had never thought of it before, but now it gives me
it sort of kind of makes sense,
respect
right?
for this movie because of that. But also, like, the main dude, I cannot remember his name off the top of my head.
Yeah, I was hoping to be able to bring up the
I super love him.
stuff while
He's
we drive through town.
He's the guy from like Alien. I'm pretty sure he was the brother in Weird Science. And let me tell you, 80s younger Julie had the hugest crush on him. So
What is his name?
I can't. He died.
He's kind of
recently,
a pretty boy in this movie.
He kind of is.
You know, he's like cool and suave and whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Know?
Well, and Carrie Ells is in this movie. He's like the bad guy.
Bill Paxton, dog.
Bill Paxton, that's it.
Yeah, Bill Paxton.
And Carrie Ells is in this. And like, what girl that grew up in the 80s or 90s did not have a crush on Carrie Ells? Because like, hello, Princess Bride, motherfucker, as you wish, pretty goddamn please.
Helen Hunt, Jamie Gertz, Carrie Elwes. Philip Seymour Hoffman, which is
before he was like famous.
Motherfucking Philip Seymour Hoffman plays
out about this role
like a tweaker. I know that he's supposed to be a stoner in this movie, but every time I see him in this movie, I'm just like, this motherfucker's doing meth. Because he's just
so
like
crazy because he's just like this weird bit part guy in this, and he's like super famous.
He's
now,
so famous
but
now.
He was not famous then at all.
It's so crazy.
This
I was able to bring it up. But I'm going to read the thing. I know we're halfway in, but I'm going to read the thing. So, during the approach of the most powerful storm in decades, university professor Dr. Joe Harding, played by Helen Hunt, underfunded. And an underfunded team of students prepare a prototype for Dorothy, a groundbreaking tornado data gathering device conceived by her estranged husband, Bill, played by Bill Paxton. I just realized that Bill Paxton's name is Bill in this fucking movie.
Oh, that must have been nice.
Does it... Oh... Yep, okay. It literally just lost the page for a second. Okay, that was super weird.
Well,
we are driving through the fucking mountains right now to get home, so we have no internet, which means that my page is loaded up. No, I got the rest of it. I got the rest of it. Bill. When Harding tells Bill that Dorothy is ready for testing and that their privately funded rival, Dr. Jones Miller, played by Carrie Elwes, has stolen the idea and built his own, Bill rejoins the team for one last mission.
I mean, that's not really accurate. I mean,
that's not at all
it, but like that doesn't really explain it because like you've got Bill and Joe, and they were like married, but now they're not, and he wants a divorce, and she won't sign the papers. And they've been like separated. And she's like giving him a hard time about it, but he brings like his new fiance.
Yeah, which is
I don't know her name, but she was the love interest in Lost Boys.
It's Jamie Gertz. She's also the wife from Still Standing, the TV sitcom from like the early 2000s or whatever.
Her more important role was the love interest from Lost Boys.
She was the hot wife in Still Standing. That was a pretty important role.
She's a reproductive therapist, so she has to take these like
the
therapy
fucking
calls.
Inappropriate background calls that she's taking
pretty wild.
Throughout the whole movie
but
is amazing.
This movie has like another one of those like very 90s things. Like it's got like all the stars in it, right? That's the thing they did in the 90s.
Got all the stars.
But it also has a very like 1980 late 80s to 1990s trope of it being like the husband and wife fell out of love and they're gonna get broken up or whatever, but they fall in love again by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And that's super 90s.
That's so fucking common in 90s movies.
It's actually kind of cute the
this
way
came out
that
96,
you see
by the
them
way.
like fall back in love. I remember seeing this in the theaters when this first came out.
I don't know if I saw this in theaters when it first came out. 96?
This was like a huge summer blockbuster kind of a movie when it first came out.
I do remember watching this on like VHS many times.
Yeah.
Because I did like this movie as a kid, because it's like...
Well, this was like kind of at the beginning of when they started using like actual CGI in movies.
Yeah, so... And bear with, this is probably
80%
80% accurate, I would say.
Except for the very first scene that you see CGI in, which is like an outside shot of like a satellite and Earth, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah,
also,
that satellite looks like some ancient shit.
Throughout the course of this movie, and the laptops are like the size of cereal boxes, and we were laughing pretty hard.
Yeah, it's great, man. I mean, like, okay, fine, yeah, the technology dates it. She has to like, she like pulls out her cell phone and like pulls the antenna up, and it's just like,
yeah,
you know. But so like whatever though, right? But like the tech in this is dated, but in reality the CGI, so if I remember correctly, the tornadoes are CGI, and specifically this was one of the first
cows are CGI.
And the cows are CGI.
Yeah.
But this was one of the first implementations of particle physics CGI. We watched a thing about this like fucking 3 months ago or something.
Yeah.
Like at the beginning of the tiny apocalypse. Halfway into the tiny apocalypse. I guess it's already the fucking 6th month of the year, but
we don't even know if we're halfway.
That's fair.
At the beginning,
halfway through to now. But at the beginning of the tiny apocalypse, and they were talking about how revolutionary like the computer generated graphics are on this, and in reality, like, yeah, okay, the satellite doesn't hold up, and like and obviously the tech doesn't hold up and whatnot, but like the tornadoes
everything else does
really hold up, and like the houses being like ripped into tiny chunks.
Yeah. All the debris
looks
flying
good,
around,
and the debris flying around and shit.
Like really everything else holds up incredibly well. So like I give this movie a 4 out of 5, and also I am going to move to say this was not a terrible movie.
It's not a terrible movie, but it's often regarded as a terrible movie. Right?
Also
you can like a bad movie, right? Like a lot of people call, and maybe fairly so, fast food bad food. But, and this is very important, have you fucking had McDonald's? That shit is delicious. Or Taco Bell, right? I mean, Burger King can literally go die in a hole. As soon as they change their fries, they turn into shit. But like a widely held belief of badness does not necessarily make a thing bad, right? It just means that like most people think it's bad.
See, I don't even think most people
are
think
idiots.
this movie is bad. Do you, dear listeners / watchers,
do you think that this is a bad movie? I know that this often comes off as like, oh no, like the campy movie list, or the not campy. What's that called?
See, I don't know that it's really all that campy.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. Philip Seymour Hoffman plays a tweaker.
That's one part of this. That's one person.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say 4 out of 5. Not terrible.
4 out of 5. Yeah, I really like this movie. Like, I'm trying to think of like complaints about this movie.
I don't really have any complaints.
But it
doesn't have that thing where I'm just like, yeah, this movie, every time it comes on, I'm gonna watch it.
You know what would help this movie is Skulls in the Tornadoes. Demon Tornadoes is the fucking secret sauce. You know what I'm saying?
Give me that. Give me that '90s The Mummy face in my Tornadoes.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, I would call I would call the third Mummy movie a terrible movie.
Yeah.
You know,
every Mummy
Scorpio
movie
King
after the
first one,
movie.
Maybe even the second one.
I like the second one.
Is the second one with the fucking punk kid? No, that's the third one. That's the third one. That's the third one. Okay. Well, we don't have to worry about that one then. But yeah, no. I mean, like, you know what? I really enjoyed this movie. Tell me what you think of this movie. Do you think it's a terrible movie or anything like that? More importantly, have you ever considered, or do you think of this movie as a monster movie or as a disaster movie? I mean, I guess you could just call it a weather movie, but that's sort of like...
I mean, there are weather movies, but weather movies generally are disasters.
Whereas like Geostorm, weather movie, disaster movie.
Yeah.
Right.
So weather movies are typically disaster movies. You're not going to have a movie about a fucking storm and have it not be some sort of a disaster.
Guys, there's a storm. It's not ruining anything.
Or a slasher flick. That happens sometimes, but way less often.
That's fair. That's super fair. Yeah. But no, I really just, I feel like this movie's more of a monster movie because of the manner in which they treat the NATO, as it were.
Yeah.
The NADO NATO.
The NATO.
Because that's what the cool kids call it, you know?
And not the North American Trade Organization.
The North American Trade O.
I was going to go for O, but organization came in at like the last
organization. Second. It's not like that. Yeah, it's better. This one is it's spinning wind. But either way, I've been John Norgrove. This has been Wife. This was Review Jive. We watched Twister. I was literally about ready to say we watched Tornado like an idiot. We watched Twister for Terrible Movie Tuesday. We will catch you motherfuckers on the flip side. And we just got home, so it's time to unpack 8 quadrillion tons of groceries.
Yep.
Good for us. All right. Peace.
Bye.